Hi, I'm Oliver and welcome to today's discussion. So today is not a review or a critique, but rather a book tag. Ooh. And from what I can see, no one has done this book tag, so I think I created it. Yes! I don't know, I just find pride in the fact that I invented a book tag. So I started thinking of that book tag following a video that I did for my channel about my experience of reading books in English, since I'm not a native English speaker. And it sort of made me think about books and languages, and do words really travel, and a whole bit about translation. But I mean, I do know that books are translated, and books from all over the world are translated in French or in English or in any other given languages. So it made me think about the books that I possess that were, like, in what language were they written? And that's the book tag. The language book tag. So the thing is, or the challenge, or the task is to find in your library of books as many different language that the books were originally written in. Okay, so let's get started. Now, it's sort of a given, but I obviously, as I'm sure anyone who would try to respond to this video, will have books that were originally written in English. So, Under the Dome by Stephen King was originally written in English. Check. My native language is French, so I've read books in French all my life, and this one, C'est pour mieux t'aimer mon enfant, from Christine Bourriette, is not only in French, but was also originally written in French, so that's a second one, a French. Now onto a third one. I'm gonna include it, and that means you can include it too, but I'm gonna include it, and I'm gonna fight you to argue that this should be a part of it. I'm gonna include books that were written in Old English. I mean, not like just, oh, Shakespeare English. No, Old English. So that includes Beowulf, and that includes the Canterbury Tales. So you might be wondering, saying, oh, Oliver, you silly man. Of course, you cannot count English twice in your challenge. Let me demonstrate. So let me just, let's see here. I'm on page 82. Let's read a little thing from the book. And some for strokes, and some from gentleness. Some team to show is lightness, and maestri he playeth Herodes on his scalful high. But what availeth him as in this case? She loveth so handed Nicholas, that Absalom may blow the blooks. What? If you argue that this is English, we have a very different vision of what English is. So that's a third language, Old English. Alright, so I also possess many books, well, not many, but a couple of books that were originally written in German. So that includes Kafka, Metamorphosis, and I also have Patrick Suskind, Perfume, A Murder Story. So these books were originally written in German, so that's 4. I possess books that were, a book that, well, only one. It was written in Hungarian. It's a book by Imre Kertész. It's called Être sans destin in French. So I read this in French, but it's available in English, and it's called Fateless or Fatelessness. It has both titles. I've already reviewed this on my channel. I'm not going to talk about it further. It's a first-person account of going through the Holocaust. So that's 5 Hungarian. I have this book of Greek mythology. So this is a new English translation of original tales that were written like in, how's it called, Macedonian Greek, like old-timey Greek. So there, I mean, it's fine, it's sort of light and fluffy. It was a mandatory read, but when you read this, those are tales of the gods and sacred text from way back then, and I mean, from a 21st century perspective, seems kind of silly. I mean, it's poetic and it's, you know, vibrant tale of heroism and whatever, but I mean, this was the belief of the time. So, yeah, but I mean, it's a fun read. So it has 6 Greek. So I read this. This is the Tao Te Ching. It's a book of it's a book of old Chinese philosophy, like Eastern philosophy. I couldn't find whether it was written in Mandarin or Cantonese, but let's go with Old Chinese. So that's 7 Chinese. I have this other book that was sort of I mean, can you tell? I read this Greek mythology, sort of tales from the gods, and then I read this thing which is about spirituality, and then I have this other one that's about spirituality as well, but this is an old Hinduism text, so it's the Bhagavad Gita. So that's number 8, written in Hindu. So the next one is the Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio. This was written in Italian, and it's, you know, very sort of burlesque tale. Seems kind of silly, but it's a classic Italian read. Didn't change my world, didn't shake it to the ground. But yeah, that's number 9, Italian. I also have Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. I don't have War and Peace. I have not read this. I didn't even watch the movie, but I possess it. I possess it. So that's number 11, Russian. I have one book by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It's Journal de l'Entraînement, so it's in French, but it was originally written in Spanish. And it was called Noticia de un secuestro. I have not read any of his book. I've heard a lot about him. So is he good? Do you like his books? Is that a good one? I don't know. But that's number 12, Spanish. And I have a couple of mangas, like a couple of Sailor Moon mangas, and I have Appleseed, which I've already reviewed on this channel. So it's a manga, and it was originally written in Japanese. So, I mean, this is okay, but I mean, it's a manga, and it's a science fiction manga that asks, you know, philosophical question about mankind and machine, and is mankind leading to its own destruction? You know, where do we stop free will to be able to live in peace, blah, blah, blah. If you're not familiar with the genre, or if you you haven't read a lot of books that were asking those questions, you might like this a lot. But since I've read, you know, a lot of those type of books, a lot of this sort of felt tried and a little bit cliche, but it's still good. So all in all, I possess a book written in 13 different languages. So how about you? I put you to the task. So if you make a video response, don't forget to link it as a comment below. And if you have any suggestion about what books I should read, what I should read, you can always leave them here. Either find me on Twitter or on Facebook. And until next time, take care. Bye.